All right, we've got Miami Dolphins offensive lineman Julién Davenport. He's a Bucknell legend. Julian, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. I really appreciate it. Um, we wanted to bring you on for our Super Bowl special episode. But before we get into the Super Bowl stuff and talking more in depth about, other teams, just wanted to, get your take on the NFL season this year, your own personal experiences with, how the season was with all the COVID protocols and, if it was more mentally or physically demanding than a regular season or, just a little more insight on that.
Yeah, well, first off, a lot of us season went way smoother than a lot of people thought it was going to go. A lot of people didn't think it was going to make it past 3 games, myself included. But I know the NFL had their protocols and stuff set up to, make sure everybody was safe, and we was able to get through an entire year, with some teams having hiccups along the road and stuff, but didn't completely dismantle the season. So that was a good thing. But it definitely was different, having to get tested every single day, having to follow strict protocols in the building and things that you may not even look as that, harmful, what you see as harmless, could go against the protocol. So you had to be in tune. And, as the season went on, everybody was learning the protocols, and protocols was changing as the season went on to, adjust to how the world was going through and dealing with the COVID as well as us in the building and the rest of the league. So, it was very different, but it made sure that everybody was able to go out there and do their job and stay as safe as possible, as you can in a full contact sport. Definitely very physically and mentally demanding because of the way structures and protocols were set up. You had to be more in tune to things, I would say, in regards to us doing Zoom meetings. That was a tough one, to try to stay connected when you're not actually in the meeting. You're just at your house. So I salute to everybody who's Zooming from home for their work, because there's definitely a struggle. There's a lot of distractions in your own household.
And
for sure.
And you lived in Miami, which is one of like the most popular, like popping places to be as an NFL athlete or as a, person in general. And you just had to, it must have kind of sucked having to, be doing all the virtual stuff and couldn't even, go out to eat or, that kind of thing in Miami.
Nah, yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, like you said, a lot to do out there, a lot of distractions as well. So, but, with the protocols, we wasn't really allowed to do much. So that kind of, kept things in the wraps, and that all helped the season flow through smoothly as well.
Yeah. Was there a lot of pressure like from the, the leaders of the team, or was it pretty much everyone kind of just held themselves accountable?
I would say every team's different in terms of Miami, a little bit of both. We had leaders when the world first shut down, or the nation, I should say. And, we was dealing with the COVID because we didn't have no spring. All springs got canceled. So everybody was from home doing stuff. And, obviously with gyms canceled or gyms closing down, we had to find ways to work out. That's part of our job, to stay in shape and continue to work out every single day. So with regards to that and the Miami Dolphins, I would say the leaders and everybody definitely, held themselves accountable and, their colleague to make sure that the work was getting done in the spring and that we was going to be ready when the season came, whether it was going to flow all the way through or get canceled eventually. But we made sure it was, tried to make it as normal as possible, so that when time came, we was ready to get right going.
Yeah. Okay. So you were drafted in 2017 by the Houston Texans. People don't know this, but you're actually the most important Texan to come out of that class, regardless of Deshaun Watson or not. But wanting to talk about Deshaun Watson a tiny bit, you guys were together for 2 years. And obviously he's been in the news in terms of wanting a trade and wanting to get out of Houston. Like I said, you were there for 2 years. Did you see kind of the writing on the wall, or did you see anything like this happening? Obviously, I'm sure you got lots of love for Houston for drafting you and giving you that opportunity to play in the league, but just wanted to hear your thoughts on what's going on down there.
I mean, what's going on down there is obviously not, you know, not ideal. It's just, yeah, a lot of, turmoil and, hitting the news for, not the right things, I would say.
Yeah.
So, I mean, me getting out of there, I mean, I'm obviously grateful for the opportunity and grateful to be able to play for that organization. But as things starting to hit the fan, it's kind of a blessing in disguise that I got up out of there the time I did. And obviously with Deshaun, I mean, he's a great dude, even better player. But, he's the type of person I feel like, our lockers is next to each other and not the type of person, create too much drama around the situation. So like with all that's going on, I can't give you more insight into it.
Yeah.
But I just know that's probably not what anything he was wanted, but whatever had happened, if that's the way he feels, warranted it. So, I mean, who knows what's actually going on inside them buildings, we grew up playing football. I mean, we all loved it growing up, but now you get to the league, it becomes a business. And business is business.
Yeah.
So, things are operated on, different ways than you would think a football team is actually supposed to run.
So like the kind of the process of being traded, does that like make it more stressful knowing that at any moment in time you might be packing your bags and going somewhere else?
Yeah, definitely a little stress factor in it just because, you got to pick up shop and move. You got to find living situation and car situation and, everything really. You just got to take your life and move it to where you're going to be. And you have to do it, like, especially if you're traded during the season, you have to do it all while still working every day with very minimum free time to even get most of that stuff handled and whatnot. So it's definitely stressful, but it also, I say, is great because, I mean, people can find places to where they really fit in, they really like and stuff like that. Not every place I would say that somebody goes to is their it place. So, it has its ups and downs.
Right. I got a couple questions I want to ask. I know Jared has at least one more that he wants to ask too. My first question is a little further off topic. I kind of want to go back to talking about COVID and the NFL a little bit. Jared and I talked about earlier on one of our earlier podcasts when all those kind of freak injuries were happening. Our hypothesis was like, because you guys didn't get like a full training camp where guys maybe not in as peak physical condition leading to more injuries, or is it just kind of one of those years it was a fluke injury thing? Like, did you personally feel as prepared as in years past physically?
I would say yeah and no. Just for the sole fact, I was fortunate enough when the shutdown happened, I was able to have a gym that I was already attending and going to that was able to stay open through the pandemic with, the stuff they offered, and the person who ran the gym and owned it doing a tremendous amount of work behind the scenes. Little do we know, being able to keep the place up and running. So I was able to get as much work as I say I could with the shutdown happening. But, not everybody was fortunate to have things like that. It's like some people obviously trapped at home. They don't got no gym to go to, no workout equipment at home. There's only so much they can do as opposed to being in a world-class NFL facility, getting your, strength and conditioning in along with your colleagues and your coach to guide you and, have your trainers to rehab you, all the sorts. So it just kind of put that on halt for a lot of people. And, everybody had different scenarios. I would say one thing that the Dolphins did that it was tremendously grateful for is they sent out some workout equipment to everybody who had maybe a garage or space to house it. And they set up workouts on an app to where you can do workouts every day with the equipment they sent you. And the equipment they sent you was to be able to do the workouts, obviously, that they're putting on the app for you. So we was able to do that, but I also heard every organization was different. There's some organizations who didn't do that at all. You're just kind of on your own and stuff. So fortunately, I had, a good team with a good support system to make sure everybody was getting the work in. So we was ready for the year. And I had the gym, but I can't say the same for everybody. So the injuries, that definitely could play a part, seeing the frequency of how many big injuries there was as well. That definitely has probably some people doing research on it. And obviously it'll be a statistic where injuries were probably up this year because nobody did, or there wasn't adequate training, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
you want me? I was gonna say, do you want to go, Jared, or can I go ahead?
I'll go. So we talked about Deshaun Watson, and you've played with now two of the young star quarterbacks in the league with Watson and Fitzpatrick. So what's with Fitzpatrick? And it was a joke because Tua is obviously the other young star, but Fitzpatrick, how does he able to come in, off the bench in a way that he does and gives the name Fitzmagic, a reason?
I mean, just straightly put it, he's a baller.
Yeah.
I mean, he can go out there and ball. He's just one of them natural ballers. But I mean, I don't want to diminish any work he has put in throughout his entire long career, because he's been in the league for a long time and he's still able to go out there and ball. I mean, I'm sure he being in the league so for how long he has been, he's probably seen a lot of coverages. He's seen a lot of things that teams can throw at him. So he knows how to get out of it, maybe where the ball should go, how the offense should operate in response to what the defense may be giving him. But other than all that, he is definitely a baller. And I love playing with Fitz.
I got to ask, what's his personality like? He just comes off as like a cool dude.
Yeah, great person. Cool dude, great person. Definitely, I'm sure he's a great father. I've never been around to witness, but from what I see and spectating, all around great person.
That's awesome. Now, tell us a little bit more about Tua, because I announced myself as the president of the Tua fan club before the year started. So I do want to know a little bit more about Tua, because I do really like him as a fan.
Nah, I mean, that kid's a baller too. I'm about to say, I luckily got to be able to play beside both of them and watch them both work. And he's gifted, man. That boy can sling the rock. He throws some beautiful passes. About to say, almost him and Deshaun, they both thrown probably two of the most beautiful balls I've seen in person, part of my team. Right. But, he's developing as well, and that kid's going to be great.
Yeah. All right. My last question before we talk about, some more fun stuff, talking about the Super Bowl is, so I'm a big Bills fan, and I don't know if you know, but the reason I like the Bills is because when I came out of my 5th year at Pitt, I went to rookie mini camp with Buffalo. So they were the team that gave me the chance. So that's why I like them. But you got to obviously play them twice a year. And I was just wondering, from a film perspective and in the organization, when you guys prepared to play them, were they a team where you guys were like, this is one of the best teams in the league? They're one of the best up and coming organizations, or was it just like, this is another game that we got to play?
No, I mean, they go out there and put the stats to show they're one of the better teams in the league, and go out there and win football games. But they're definitely all across the board overall a very good team, and they're a very good team, I would say, from doing my film study, that doesn't mess up that much. And that's how teams beat themselves more by messing up on their own than as opposed to what the other team is doing. And they limit that as much as possible. They follow their assignments well, and they're in the right place at the right time almost 90% of the football game. So they good team, and then you mix that with that's going to make a very good football team.
I'm a big fan of Leslie Frazier, the defensive coordinator for the Bills. I think he does a lot of good things. I'd like to see him get another head coaching chance. I know all the spots got filled up this year, but next year hopefully his name's in the running for some jobs.
Yeah, so it's a couple guys I feel like who definitely could have easily had a head coaching job. Didn't work out their way, but hopefully they get one eventually in these next few years.
Yeah, I gotta say the whole process it does a disservice to coaches who are on winning football teams, because if you're in the championship games, you're in the the Super Bowl, I feel like it's less likely that you're going to get hired. It may be, and Jared, I think you mentioned that last week. So I'd like to see them change the process a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of. I'm sure there's scenarios where people got hired while they were still in the playoffs and stuff like that. I can't think of any right now, but yeah, it is a little. It's different because you're still out there with your team trying to win a championship. And in the meantime, you're interviewing for another job per se. So it definitely is difficult.
Did you ever try to talk to Bill O'Brien to let you guys run the tackle screen?
Nah. Honestly, I should have after my rookie year. I was a tight end on the field goal protection. And when we was in the Greenbrier in West Virginia, the fire, fumble, snap, fire. I'm on the left side. I got a corner route to the back of the end zone. And I'm over here on the left thinking, yeah, there's no way this ball's getting thrown to me. So cooling. I look up, ball's in the air. I'm like, oh, snap. Gotta start running. I got a linebacker on my tail, like chasing me. And I'm like, all right, I got this one hand corner of the end zone, and it was raining.
That's
After
awesome.
then, I should have said something, but nah, it is NFL. They can do a lot more than just the tackle screen. Get some points on the board.
My senior year of high school, I had committed to Bucknell. Bucknell was playing at VMI, and I'm sure
you've seen it live.
Yeah, I saw it live. I was a senior in high school, and for those listening, they called a tackle screen. I guess it was at like the 40-yard line, and
it was super far. They never gave me a chance.
Got it to you, and you were rumbling down the sideline. Got down to like right at the pylon, like right at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I was like the 1-2. Got tackled by the whole team. I was trying to fight off like 7 or 8 guys. I was trying to push in that end zone too, till somebody started ripping at the ball, and I had to go down.
Yeah.
Was that with Mikey O as the OC, or was his first year as OC when we were freshmen?
I think O'Connor was there then. I think he was.
O'Connor was there. I just don't know if he was the OC.
Nah, that was my rookie year. Bo was the OC.
Oh yeah, Coach Bo.
Sorry, I don't think y'all have, bro.
He recruited me, but then he left to go to Delaware after.
Yeah.
I have one more question. Toughest pass rusher that you ever gone against? Who is it, and why is it Craig Cassidy?
Craig, man. Craig was a hidden gem. He was powerful. He was powerful, quick, broad.
Yeah. Yeah, J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, Craig Cassidy.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I had the luxury of going against two great ones in practice, constantly. I would say Clowney more so than JJ. And, we used to go at it. But, two great pass rushers. But I say the person who has gave me the most problems so far, and I haven't had a chance to get back at him in 2 years now, and has been Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah.
He really studies the art of the pass rush, and he really uses your mishaps and your weaknesses. I wouldn't say weaknesses, actually, your mishaps and your mess ups to his advantage. If you get caught leaning, he's gonna make sure that you got beat, and it's gonna be because you was leaning, or your technique was just a little off, or maybe you threw that hand maybe a little too fast or too late. Like, he's gonna capitalize off your mistakes.
What I think is so crazy, just, the average football fan has no idea how much technique actually kind of goes into each play at each position. They kind of just see people running around and blocking, but don't understand, the little intricacies of what we're trying to do.
Nope. That's as you move up levels in life, football, that's where technique becomes more and more important. That's probably the most important thing for every position in the NFL is, your technique. How sound are you on your technique? How well are you at keeping it for the duration of a full football game and, sustaining it? And yeah, basically, if your technique is poor, that's more than likely the reason maybe you lost a rep. It's definitely, I can look at myself and see things when I lose a rep or whatever, I go straight back and there was something wrong with my technique somewhere,
Yeah.
The technique is huge.
Yeah.
I have another question before we go to the Super Bowl. Just talking about thinking, because you said Mike O'Connor, think about coaches and Coach Stape coming onto the staff your sophomore year, right?
Yeah.
And how Stape was obviously played in the NFL, won a Super Bowl with Pittsburgh. How big was Stape, in your development? And then additionally, you think if you wanted to, could Stape, be an NFL caliber offensive line coach?
I think he could definitely be a offensive line coach. He just got to get his foot in the door, one, and then, just take advantage of the opportunities that arise. Being in the building, I've seen, guys get opportunities and then come up big. I could just speak for our assistant O-line coach for the Dolphins this year, who just got promoted to head O-line coach for the upcoming year. He was in the league when we played against the Seahawks my rookie year. So he's not that old.
Mm-hmm.
And, he got his foot in the door. He's been with a couple organizations and now he got this opportunity. And it's all through his work and, what he's done to show that he deserves the opportunity. So it definitely can happen. But also, State, he was a great coach for me. Obviously kept me going. He realized, I don't want to be cocky or anything, but when he came in, obviously I was the best lineman on the team for my sophomore year. And he just made sure, that I just put that pedal to the metal every day, don't get complacent. And then obviously him having been in the NFL, won a Super Bowl, been around a bunch of elite players, he knows what it takes. And, he made sure he instilled that to me in my head every day, even if I can say, this the competition I'm going against in practice isn't that, taxing to where like I feel like I can slack off a little bit. He made sure that didn't happen. He made sure I kept doing what I had to do, to make sure that I was going to need all this to get to the next level. And everything he taught me and helped me with, got me to where I'm at. I'm grateful.
Yeah, when he thought you were slacking, he just put Craig up in front of you and told Craig to go to work.
Yeah. Craig would definitely get me to not slack.
Oh man, I love it. I love both those guys, Craig and Stape. Stape is awesome. Stape's still, we still have a relationship to this day. So I'm a big Stape guy, and I hope he does get his shot in the NFL here soon. But yes, I know you probably don't have a horse in the race in this Super Bowl. I don't know if you have any, former teammates that might be on either team. But just having, I think you played against Brady in the past. I know you're an offensive guy, so you're probably not watching too much film. I have no idea if you've played against Mahomes, but just, curious as to who you think is going to come out in this game.
It's a tough one, man. I've answered this question a couple times over the past, week or so. Answer has really been the same, but now as I'm thinking of it, even when I answered my questions, I kind of, play both sides of it. So it's like, I got a homie who plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was traded the day before or same day I was traded from Houston. Okay. And, he got himself a ring with him last year. And I would love for him to get another ring, but, I also would like to see Tom cement his GOAT status, even though he's already GOAT. Yeah. Like I would feel like the only thing he had left to do was go play in a Super Bowl in the same town city that he plays for, and then win it in that same city. Like you don't get opportunities like that don't arise. And now he's already put forth to where he's in the Super Bowl in the city that he plays for, and now he just has to go win it. So, and I like Tampa Bay's defense. I feel like their defense is very good. So I feel like Tampa Bay will take it, but I want the Chiefs to win it per se.
Okay, if I may ask, is your homie, it's not Tyrann Mathieu, is it, that got traded? Because now that I think about it, he did get traded around then.
He didn't get traded. He just
signed there. Okay.
Yeah, he just didn't sign back to Houston. My homie is Martinez Rankin.
Okay.
He's an offensive lineman as well.
Okay, gotcha. I was just registering in my head. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's Tyrann Mathieu. But okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's what I've been trying. We got a betting segment here that comes up in the second half of our podcast, and just being honest, I have no idea if who I'm gonna pick yet. So I got to decide between now and when we do our segment. So I was hoping.
Nah, it's a tough one.
Yeah,
I mean, two great teams with, not as many. I mean, every team has their flaws, but I'd say, they put forth great effort and have less flaws than, say, the counterparts that they beat to get to this point.
Yeah. You got any other questions, Jared?
My last one, and I think I said that already, but are you more proud of
10 last one questions?
Are you more proud of, getting drafted in the NFL, starting in the playoffs and, being a 4-year guy, or being named Bucknell Offensive Player of the Decade?
I would say I'm more proud of, getting to this point and, trying to build a future for my family and, build a legacy for myself. I got a lot of football left still in me. And, I'm trying to get out there and show that I'm a baller and do my thing. So I still got more to prove, even though I am here. As for the Offensive Player of the Decade, I honestly didn't even know that stuff was happening until it actually got announced.
That's awesome.
With all the voting and stuff, and what was it like? It was another segment for each position.
Yeah, they had O lineman, and then they got to the offensive player.
Yeah. I only seen that from people creating group chats and adding me in it, and then they was talking about it, and I had no idea none of that was going on.
Yeah, I don't think you had to worry about campaigning for yourself. I think you were pretty good on that regard.
Juju, do you talk to Abdul at all? Do you guys connect to get any workouts in?
Yeah, we got a couple workouts in last year. I've been waiting to connect with him while I'm home I'm home for probably a couple more weeks. And I know he's around, even though he just had a workout with another team, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I've been waiting to connect with him again. I don't know if y'all know he's engaged.
Yeah. I did know that, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be getting married in June, so I'll be there. I'm one of his groomsmen for his big day, and I'll be down there in June to see him go tie his knot.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. How's he doing? I know you said he had a workout for another team. I know he was on practice squad a little bit. What's his next step?
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get in where he fits in. And make an opening for himself with his work, his skill, all of the above. He's just trying to find his spot to where he can go ball and, get his chance. And when that opportunity comes, he's going to make the best of it. It's just a matter of time.
No doubt.
He looks good when I see him on film and when he's working out and stuff. I think he looks good. I'd like to, see him get to stick around somewhere because I think he could contribute a lot,
Nah, yeah. I mean, like I said, every place isn't the it place for, certain people. When he finds his place, he's going to flourish. I already know it.
Yeah. But I don't have anything else. You got one more last questions there,
no,
Jared?
I'm out of questions. So, Julian, definitely appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, I appreciate y'all for having me again. It
Thank
was
you,
nice
man.
talking to y'all. It's been a while.
Is that a dog snoring? It sounds like
Yeah, you want to see?
That is awesome. I
Oh,
thought so. I was like, that's got to be a dog.
What is that, a French bulldog?
Yep. It's Smokey, and then you got Kobe over here.
Oh, my
Oh,
gosh.
what is
That's awesome.
up?
That's awesome. All right. Well, yeah, Julian, we really appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on. Best of luck this all season. Stay healthy, man.
I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, man.